Hey, welcome back to Single Car Garage. How are you doing today? It's Friday. It's Friday. Hey, what are we working on today? Well, we're working on my 66 Impala. First car I ever had. Got it in 1973 when I was 13. It was my aunt and uncle's car. And my dad had a 68 Cutlass. He was headed to town to trade off, and I wanted that Cutlass because it had a 455 in it. 67 Cutlass, not 68. It was white, black interior. Would have been gorgeous to drive around and play with. But he thought it wasn't safe because it had that big engine in it. So my aunt and uncle were trading this 66 off the same day that he was trading. And guess what? I ended up with a 66 Impala, two-door hardtop, black interior, bucket seats, automatic in the floor. Now, today, $350 out of a 69 Camaro RSSS, $700 R4, four-wheel disc brakes, been lowered 2 inches, and it has a heavier suspension under it. The springs that I have in it, when I was doing everything to it, I wanted to take a lot of the body roll out of it, and I put heavier sway bars, front and back, and I put heavier springs. And what I did, I researched back in the 60s and 70s springs they were running on road courses in NASCAR. And because I really wanted to take that body roll out of the car, which I did. You know, before it was about like this. Now it's about like this. Handles almost as good as my Corvette. Not quite, because you got the big weight difference. So, I went through a whole deal with my transmission, and I don't know. I don't think I've ever covered that on a video or anything. It was prior to me doing videos. And the car's been down for a couple of years, and I'll tell you a little bit about that story later on, because this is going to be a little bit longer video than I normally have. Got my transmission and everything fixed, got out on the road, started enjoying it. Going down the road one day, heard a big pop. Bushing came out of my A-arm. So the A-arm doesn't look damaged. I took it apart, repressed it in. It pressed in hard, so I felt good about it. Put it back together, it popped out again. And when it pops out, the car drops about 2 inches and drags to this would happen to be on the driver's side, drug to the driver's side. As a matter of fact, it was hard to get home because the camber and the alignment was so far off. When that pops out, that drops it about 1.5 inches. So it's pretty bad. So went out and bought tubular A-arms. I'd done all that work to the suspension, and the only reason I didn't put them on the first time was money. So I had it, thought I'd go out and buy it. What I needed. Here's the bottom, the problem child. And the old ones that we put on 3 or 4 cars had bushings, just like this bushing on both sides, polyurethane. And I didn't pay any attention when I was ordering this, and I didn't look at any of the reviews. And this one has a bearing in it. And according to Global West, this helps a whole lot of things. And what I'm going to do is put you all a Global West video. I don't copy and paste videos to my YouTube page, but I am this one just so if you want to learn about all this crap, they explain it. I'm not even smart enough to explain it. So we've got this to put in. And here's the upper. Wasn't nothing wrong with my upper, but of course if you're going to do one, you got to do it all. So there's my upper. Okay, taking this lower A-arm off, undo your sway bar, Undo your torsion bar. There's 2 bolts right. I don't even know if you'll be able to see them. Right there. They got nuts on the bottom of them. Now, once that's done, take your, you've got a carter pin through your ball joint castle nut. Take that out. Take your castle nut off. Now, first of all, you want to do is jack car up. And then you'll also want to put a jack underneath your A-arm. You've got your spring, which is pushing down on your bottom A-arm. If you undo this ball joint without a jack under here, it'll flip down real fast. It will hit hard enough to chip your concrete, and that spring can come out of there and cause bodily injury, if not death. So you want to have a jack under this when you're undoing your ball joint. So what I usually do is one at a time. I always do the bottom first. I don't know why. Because the top has no pressure got against it, so you can drop it down. So get your nut off. Now, once you get your nut off, you're going to want to take your ball joint off. This is a front end service tool set. I bought it at Harbor Freight. Ball joint removal tool. I'll tell you, this ball joint removal tool beats the crap out of beating the crap out of A-arms to get them to come off. At least my opinion. Once your nut's off, this fits right over top your, right here. Goes against your ball joint bolt and presses right out. Now again, make sure you have a jack underneath your A-arm so you don't have any problems there. Then you go to the top and do the same thing. Once you've done that, set your spindle on something. You've got your brake hose, and if you don't, it's going to be stretching it. Set your spindle on something that will rest it and not put a lot of stress on that. Now, I showed you on my passenger side all that. I actually have the driver's side off, getting ready to put it back together. As a matter of fact, I've got the lower A-arm on there. I was making a video earlier, and my camera actually lost my video. I don't know what happened. Anyway, so I started over. That thing is not hard to put on, but I'll show you a couple things. And the reason I'm working on it, I'm actually on the side of the shop that I don't work. You can't move this car. I mean, you could hook a tractor to it and drag it, but to push it into the shop, the camber is so far off, you can't even push it. So I decided to fix the driver's side over here. Once I get that done, what I'm going to do is move it to the other side. And I actually have a starter problem on it. My starter went bad, and I just, instead of going and getting it rebuilt, I just went and bought a starter for that engine. Same thing I did when I put that engine in 10 years ago. And can't find a starter that'll line up right. It's they're binding on the flex plate and breaking the nose off. And my buddy that works at the parts house, we tried every starter for this this motor and couldn't. So I have a new flex plate, new starter. I've got to put it on the lift, take the transmission back, put my new starter and flex plate on, and go from there. So I need to get it rolling. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this, and I need to get this other side done. But once I get this side done and I can roll it, what I'll do is take it over to my lift, so it'll make the job a lot easier. So let me show you what I'm doing. Now, I was showing you this has a bearing, what they call a bearing. It's like a heim joint. Then you got these two spacers that go on both sides, which places it in the cradle in there and doesn't have any play. Now this kit's supposed to have come with a dowel to stick through here, to stick these on, and so you can put them up in there and they wouldn't fall out. They didn't send me a dowel. Shamey, 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 shamey. No dowel rod. Well, I was going to go to town and buy one, and I got to looking and a thinking, and I came up with a plan. So let me go show you what I've done. Oh, over here. Oh, you want to see the mess I've created? Let's see the mess I have created. There's a whole mess of tools and crap underneath my car. And that's what I'm good at, creating friggin' messes. I am the biggest friggin' mess person when I'm working on a project. I just throw everything everywhere until I get done, and then I clean it up. I was going to clean it up this morning before I started this so it looked a little more professional, but I said, hey, big deal. Let's go look at this. See, there's the bolt that goes through your A-arm, and it's cambered. That's how you change the camber on your lower A-arm. Since I didn't have that dowel rod, I came up with the idea of placing this on top of my transmission jack. That way I could hold it into place while I put my bolt in there. See, when you're slipping that bolt through here, those two shims, or whatever you want to call them, that place this in the middle, that's why they had that dowel rod, supposedly, that you could stick through there and hold them in place, and then you just knock it out. But with it resting on this, it went in real easy. I pushed it up there and pushed my bolt through. So now I need to get my torsion arm back hooked up, get my top on, A-arm on, and then I can go ahead and put my spindle on. Your top one's pretty simple. 2 bolts, go through it, and it sets to the back of your frame there. Real easy. We've got the top bolted in. It's kind of hard to see, but there's an indentation for your spring to set in. You can see it a little bit better on this one I haven't put on yet. Before you put your spring in, you want to make sure that's lined up, or before you push your spring up with your jack, because you can't move it once you get it in there. So make sure it's right. Otherwise, your spring will be just a little bit off, and it'll actually tear that bushing up. So make sure it's lined up, turn it to where it's lined up with your spring, and then put it together. All right, there we are. New A-arms. Okay, now I'll do the other side. So, make sure your car's on a jack stand, of course. Be careful taking your spring out when you undo your ball joints. Make sure you have a jack under your bottom A-arm so it won't fly down. Now, you have to, usually they don't come loose that easy. You can use a ball joint separator, or you can go on that where it goes up over your ball joint. If you'll keep tapping with a hammer, usually it'll break loose. But the separator is a whole lot easier, I think. I've done it both ways. Get all that off. Your torsion bar and your shock and springs and sway bar mount, and then you've seen how I put it back up underneath there, and then go get it aligned. I will show you in another video of how that camber bolt works. I just don't have my tire on there right now. I want to go through and recheck everything, and my battery's starting to get weak, and I didn't want to end this video and restart it, so I thought I would kind of wrap up. But that's it. Putting A-arms on there. Just the spring, be very, very, very careful when you're taking springs out of your vehicle, because it's a lot of pressure, and they can fly out there and hurt you. Now, one thing, if you're afraid of them flying out there, what I've done a lot of times, and you'll see this on a lot of videos, take a chain, a little 1/8" chain, wrap it around your spring, wrap it around your frame, put a bolt through it. That way, if it does fly out, it'll only go a few inches and it won't hurt anybody. So that's something else. These are lowered springs. They're 2 inches lower. I don't have that problem. The original springs, man, they came out of there. I had them chained down, and when I dropped that A arm all the way, they came out of there. But I had that chain on them. They didn't go anywhere. These 2 inch lower ones are a little bit easier to deal with. So that's what I've been doing today. I've got that side done. I'm going to go back and recheck all my nuts and bolts. Some of them need to be torqued, and get everything on it so I can get it over to my lift and finish this other side. So, hey, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching this video. I'm going to put a video in here from Global West to show you what they say about the geometry on these A-arms. And hey, you all make up your mind if you like them or not. Thanks for stopping by. Come back and see me. Talk to you later.